treacherous weather that hit Santa Clara last night has headed north, impacting Seattle. The NFL standings, not the only slippery thing in play tonight.
March out west to the Emerald City.
On a classic late October Seattle night, Lumen Field will be sold out for the 149th consecutive game as we welcome you to the progressive Monday night kickoff. Alvin Kamara leads a new look New Orleans offense out of a much-needed bye into Seattle, where the youngest blue hair you've ever seen, DK Metcalf, has to figure out a way to eat up defenders while waiting for Russ to cook again. And Week 7 doesn't end before the Seahawks and Saints say so. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Monday Night Football. Lewis Riddick, Brian Greasy. I'm Steve Levy. Over the last decade, no team in the NFL has been better than the Seattle Seahawks in two areas, at home and in prime time like they are tonight. But that was with Russell Wilson calling all the shots. Russ is going to miss at least the next two games. That's minimum. At the risk of being over-dramatic here in this Week 7, I think this is a must-win game for Seattle. What about it?
Yeah, nobody's ever accused you of being over-dramatic, right? No, this is a very important game for Seattle. Very important game. Pete Carroll said, listen, we're chasing right now. They're not in familiar territory. With the Cardinals 7-0 and the Rams 6-1, if Seattle doesn't win tonight, they'd be 5 games out of the NFC West. So there's a sense of urgency. For them, I think the path is clear to get back to 500, though. They got to find a way to pull out a win tonight. Jacksonville next week, and then the bye week, and maybe get Russ back. But it's not going to be easy because this defense for New Orleans, the best in the league at stopping the run. Geno Smith's going to have to throw the football.
Yeah, he is. And I'll tell you this, they have to win this game by any means necessary. And if that means Geno throwing it, then fine. Because they're going to be butting their head up against a brick wall with this New Orleans Saints front. But I really think this game is going to be about balance. And when we asked Pete about that, and we asked about how they were when they were at their very best, he said it was about balance, meaning this. Not just as far as running the football, it was about all three phases contributing. Offense, defense, special teams, a big return, a turnover, a big run, a big throw. That's how they're going to have to win tonight by any means, whatever it takes for 60 minutes.
It's been 29 years since the Seahawks lost their first 3 home games of a season. That was their worst season ever. Meanwhile, New Orleans at 3-2, say what you will about the record. You take everything into account, it's not that bad. They played 1 true home game. The bye comes early, but they really need it to finally get healthy, get some players back tonight, and they've overhauled their offensive philosophy.
Yeah, but overall, I wouldn't count out the Saints this year. Everybody's been sleeping on this team. The Hurricane, everybody kind of put them in the back burner. But this is a team, the number one question this season for the Saints coming in, the quarterback. Who's going to be the quarterback? Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston. Now Jameis has had 5 games with Sean Payton to get on the same page. They have taken a 180-degree turn. Drew Brees threw the ball all over the lot for 15 years. Sean Payton began to rebuild this offense, not around Jameis Winston, but around the offensive line. And when they're healthy, they're one of the best in the National Football League, and they're going to need them tonight with one of the best backs in Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, he's going to rely on this offensive line because his evolution has been spectacular here in year 5. Everyone knows Alvin Kamara is one of the best pass-catching backs in the NFL, and he can still do that, and you will see that tonight. But make no mistake about this. He's averaging about 19 rushes per game, which is second only to King Derrick Henry. And you know what kind of workload they put on Derrick Henry down there in Tennessee. So right now, look, he's off to a torrid pace as far as running the football. We don't know how much he'll catch it out of the backfield, but in order for them to win, he has to establish himself on the ground tonight.
All right, so we all agree then. It's a must-win for Seattle?
Yeah, we'll go with you. You take us down the road.
Lisa Salters is up next. And then it's the Seattle Seahawks and New Orleans Saints, only on Monday Night Football. Seahawks, we play 5-6.
Shine on, cause we're made from the stars.
Let's go! Touchdown, Seahawks! Take it, man. Good boy. I see ya. Weather will be a factor. No surprise in Seattle. As for the handling of the elements, down to the sidelines, Lisa Salters.
Hey, Steve. Well, Sean Payton told us he had never even heard of the term bomb cyclone until he started looking at the forecast for this game. So what exactly is a bomb cyclone? Well, it's a fancy meteorological term that just means really bad weather like we're having right now. A lot of rain, strong gusting winds. According to the forecast, it's supposed to rain through at least the first quarter and then taper off as the night progresses. But the wind will be gusting up into the high 20s all night. Both quarterbacks said they will not be wearing gloves to help them grip the football better. In fact, both Geno Smith and Jameis Winston told us they like the challenge of throwing in the rain. Smith said he believes he even throws better with a wet football. So we did some digging, and as it turns out, neither one of them has won a wet weather game in their pro careers. Winston is 0-5 in the rain and has thrown 6 touchdown passes and 12 interceptions. Smith had just 1 game in wet weather up in New England when he was a rookie with the Jets. He had 0 touchdowns and threw 3 interceptions, but that could have had as much to do with going up against the Bill Belichick defense as much as the rain. Steve?
And Lisa, he will face a rough and tough Saints defense tonight. Peyton and Eli are over on ESPN2. Good to have them back. And after the break, we'll have the start of the game. You've been watching the Progressive Monday Night Kickoff.
Fans Pick, presented by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network. And the Fans Pick, New Orleans. Stay tuned to see if they got it right.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Seattle is the birthplace of grunge, the sound and the spirit. It's grassroots and gritty, born in garages and living large within these fans.
Let's make sure we capture this one.
Tonight, pushing against that beat is the rhythm of New Orleans. Free-spirited and big easy and full of love for the Saints.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Great to see the crowd back.
Decibel levels lift the Seahawks. The volume for the 12s goes to 11. Rock in the stand. Jazz in their soul.
We got the whole city behind us. Untouched into the end zone tomorrow.
Stop the music! Now, start the music.
Ready to rock and roll on a rainy night in Seattle. Saints and the Seahawks. And our own Matthew Hasselbeck will be honored at halftime. He'll go into the Ring of Honor here in Seattle. Just the 13th member and the 10th player. And part of his pregame responsibilities, getting this crowd fired up. And they are hardy souls here in Seattle. You think a few raindrops gonna bother these people? I don't think so. I don't think the heavy stuff's coming down for a while anyway. 55-degree night. Or late afternoon as we approach the evening here in Seattle. Brian Johnson set to kick it away. His first ever NFL kick is in the air. Short kick, DJ Dallas for Seattle. Beyond the 20 and tripped up beyond the 25.